Common issues with AWS Amplify REST API is a topic that many developers face when building scalable and secure applications. In this tutorial, we will cover the most common issues and provide practical solutions to help you overcome them. First, let us start with authentication issues, which are the most common problem with AWS Amplify REST API. When using AWS Amplify to create REST APIs, you need to ensure that you have properly configured authentication and authorization. Make sure you have the correct AWS credentials and that you are using the correct authentication method. Another common issue is with API endpoint configuration. When creating API endpoints, you need to ensure that you have correctly configured the endpoint URL and the HTTP method. You should also ensure that you are handling errors correctly and providing meaningful error messages. Data serialization and deserialization is another area where issues often occur. When sending data to and from the API, you need to ensure that you are using the correct data format and that you are handling serialization and deserialization correctly. Make sure you are using the correct data types and that you are handling null values correctly. To resolve these issues, you should start by checking the AWS Amplify documentation and the AWS API Gateway documentation. You should also check the AWS CloudWatch logs to see if there are any error messages that can help you diagnose the issue. Best practices for using AWS Amplify REST API include using authentication and authorization to secure your API, handling errors correctly, and using meaningful error messages. You should also use the correct data format and handle serialization and deserialization correctly. In terms of tools and resources, AWS provides a number of tools and resources to help you build and debug your REST API. The AWS Amplify CLI is a powerful tool that allows you to create and manage your REST API from the command line. The AWS API Gateway Console is another useful tool that allows you to create and manage your API endpoints. In conclusion, common issues with AWS Amplify REST API can be resolved by following best practices and using the correct tools and resources. By ensuring that you have properly configured authentication and authorization and that you are handling errors correctly, you can build a scalable and secure REST API.